What's up and welcome to the Stranger Things Upside Down. I'm not gonna lag on this. Too much pausing. You got a job right now and you can't get hold of unemployment. This must go viral. This is the man that's cutting the check, Steve Manench. For those who have an IQ over 120, mine's 170. Listen to what he say. People that might not understand what they're reading in black and white on paper on the unemployment website. Listen to what this man's saying. If you have a job right now and your boss is not cutting you a check every Friday, even though they shut down, your boss is robbing you. He robbing me. My job is robbing me. Only got like 6 hours for a whole week. I'm an essential worker. 6 hours. Listen to what Mr. Manench say. We supposed to be getting a fucking check even if we're not going to work, just so we don't have to file for unemployment. Our jobs are supposed to be cutting us a check. That's why they sending all this business money, all these billions to the small businesses, even though they're shut down with no work. The business is completely shut down. They still supposed to send their employees a check so you don't have to file for unemployment. Check this out.
I'm not gonna lose my girlfriend or her kid. You know, that's my little family right there, and I'm not gonna lose them for you. And
Intended effect on the industry. And it's not just restaurants, it's the whole chain there. You've got food and service distributors, equipment repair, paper suppliers, HVAC technicians, all in the same boat.
Well, Maria, let me just clarify. Again, all these small businesses need to do is pay their employees. If they're closed and there's no work to do, they don't have to come in. They just pay them. So as soon as they're ready to open, they have their employees. The employees have been paid. They didn't have to get unemployment. You know, this is not a fault of anybody's. We want to make sure, get your employees paid. This is money that the government is.
Yeah.
Look at the stock exchange. Just when he said that alone, the stock exchange blew out the market because they believe that these people are bosses over these small mom and pop restaurants. When they get this money, they actually still cutting us checks, even though we at the house, even though they restaurants are shut the fuck down completely. Let's play that again.
The PPP benefit is trying to incentivize the hospitality industry to put people back to work before it's safe for customers to visit the businesses. So unless the timeline is adjusted so restaurants can take advantage of this after extreme social distancing is no longer necessary, it's not going to have the intended effect on the industry. And it's not just restaurants, it's the whole chain there. You've got food and service distributors, equipment repair, paper suppliers, HVAC technicians, all in the same boat.
Before we get back into this excerpt, all I want to do is make this point is, even if you're an essential worker, you're going to work and you're still not getting your full-time hours, your boss is supposed to still be cutting you your full-time check. I work 48 hours a week. I'm only getting 6-8 hours a week. You're still supposed to cut me a check for 48 hours, even though I only worked 4, so I don't have to file for unemployment.
Clarify. Again, all these small businesses need to do is pay their employees. If they're closed and there's no work to do, they don't have to come in. They just pay them. So as soon as they're ready to open, they have their employees. The employees have been paid. They didn't have to get unemployment. You know, this is not a fault of anybody's. We want to make sure, get your employees paid. This is money that the government is giving. So that 50%, Maria, 50% of the private economy, people get paid. And, you know, for the rest of the economy, we're working with the Fed on a Main Street program. We hope to have that up running quickly. You know, we're very pleased that the corporate bond markets appear to be open. We're working on other programs there. We're working on a municipal program.
Yep.
We have $6 trillion to put in the economy. We're meeting with all the advisors on the airlines this week. We're working very quickly on that. So I can assure you the president has instructed us to get this money into the economy fast.
I totally understand, and you're doing a great job, Secretary. I don't want to confuse what I'm saying, and we all appreciate the hard work you're putting into this. What about the next round of stimulus? House Speaker Pelosi says that the next round of stimulus will be coming, and it will be at least $1 trillion, focusing on replenishing funds for programs, maybe infrastructure. What does that look like at this early stage?
Well, Maria, we've been in discussions, but again, our first priority, the president said, let's make sure we get this money out. The president has made clear if we need more money for small business, we'll do that. And the president has instructed us to make sure we do everything that small businesses, employers, U.S. economy, U.S. companies have the liquidity they need. And as I said, when we need to go back to Congress for more money, we're prepared to do that.
I heard yesterday one congressman wants also part of that fourth stimulus package to be an agreement that you're going to move the supply chains back to America so that we are not so reliant on China. Is that in the cards?
Well, Marie, I don't think we need that in a bill. I think that Americans understand that we want to make sure that critical supplies we can make in the USA for the USA. So that's something that's been in the president's agenda from the campaign. That's something we'll continue to execute upon, and I don't think we need legislation to do that. I think companies understand that, and we understand that.
And Secretary, can you just assess where we are in terms of these this economic impact? You know, Janet Yellen, of course, yesterday said GDP contraction 35%, unemployment rate of 13% right now. Does that sound right to you, Secretary?
Maria, let me just emphasize, this is a very difficult time for American workers and the American economy. This isn't a normal financial slowdown. This is where the government has ordered businesses to be closed. And there's three components that protect American workers. The first is this PPP plan that we've discussed. The second is direct payments. By the end of next week, many Americans will already receive direct payments in their accounts, needed liquidity. And the third is enhanced unemployment. So the president wants to make sure that American workers are protected, and these three programs are very important to doing that.
Yeah, and it's incredibly unprecedented. You said with me a couple of weeks ago that in the fourth quarter we'll see a gigantic rebound. How quickly do you expect a snapback once we do see the economy open up again, Secretary?
Maria, I think certain parts of the economy you're going to see come back immediately. Certain things are going to take a little bit longer. But I have every expectation that we will kill this virus soon. And when we do that, you're going to see a very big bounce back. As I've said, the economy has slowed down, but we've closed down this economy. And when we reopen it, I expect that you're going to see a very strong rebound later this year.
All right, incredible moment in time. Secretary Mnuchin, thanks very much for being.
So for those that don't think we don't understand, and we call these unemployment lines, 700-800 times, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 times. That's not a joke. You can Google that. Lady calls unemployment 4,000 times just for a 5-minute phone call. So for our bosses, the GMs, these CEOs that don't think we know what's going on, I'm sitting at home. I used to work 6 days a week, 50 hours plus. I shouldn't be at the house wondering, should I spend $10 on kitty litter, or should I keep that $10 to go get me $10 or a dollar pizza pies, Red Baron pizzas for $1 at the Family Dollar? I shouldn't have to worry about getting cat litter of food from going from 60 plus hours a week. My job is still supposed to be cutting a check, even though I'm sitting at the house. I shouldn't even have to call unemployment, because what Steve Mnuchin is saying, that you should still get a check direct from your job because your job should have never fired you. That's why they sent them the money, so they can keep you on the books and you will continue getting the check as if you're still working, even though the businesses are closed. You get that? You're at home chilling, but your spirit is at work working, like if you're ghost racing somebody, or you ghost chasing yourself, and one side of yourself is at home chilling, watching TV, watching the kids, doing the internet learning and all this good stuff, reconnecting with the family, making good memories, and your other half is at work working. You're still supposed to get a check for being at home with your family, because like me, I'm an essential worker. I don't get all my hours, but I should get all my hours, because that's what Steve Mnuchin just said. You still give the people pretty much their full-time check because that's why we giving you these big monies. The people that's sitting at home that's filing for unemployment, they should have never had to do that because their boss should have kept them on the books. That's what we said, keep them on the books and continue paying them even though they're sitting at home. So the big rush to unemployment doesn't happen. We don't have a 13% unemployment rating because of the lack of cooperating with these CEOs and presidents of these companies to keep their employees on and to continue cutting them checks. So there at my job, there's 98% of the people are at home. Those 98% of those men that was busting their ass to help make that company in these last couple of quarters should still be getting a check. They should not have to call unemployment because soon as they open it back up, those same men can come right back to work as if they were never unemployed or as if they never stopped working. So if they had never had stopped working, their rent would be paid, the lights would be on, they wouldn't have to suffer, they wouldn't have no doubt, they wouldn't have anxiety, they wouldn't have suicidal thoughts, they wouldn't worry about breaking their grandma's neck, trying to get the insurance money, they wouldn't have to worry about burning down the house, or have to worry about ordering a tent on Amazon and living outside by the railroad tracks from having a house for 6 years. They still get a check from their employer, even if you're sitting at home not working. Peace, love you. Subscribe to the channel.